Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Kyla and my channel is just a plethora of all things that I love. Today we are doing my current top 10 favorite historical dolls from American Girl. This is including the Be Forever dolls because it's basically the same thing. Also, I wanted to say that I am not doing the best friend dolls. They will be receiving their own ranking video, although we won't be able to do 10 of them because there are not 10. So as usual, I took into consideration how the doll appeals to me, her collection, her appearance, her storyline, and everything like that. So this is not any right or wrong answer. This is nothing factual. This is strictly opinion based, and that leads me into please keep your comments positive and polite down below. Let me know what your favorite historical dolls are, or if we have the same ones, because that would be really cool. So you guys know that historicals, they're my favorite line. They're what got me into collecting American Girls when I was 3 years old. So this was very, very difficult, and it's why it's kind of, I put it behind the Truly Me and the Girl of the Years, because this one took me forever. But as of January 2022, these are my top 10 historical dolls. Starting off as usual in 11th place with our honorable mention, it is Nenea Mitchell. Now, I own Nenea. Her name is Lucy in my collection, and I will say she has a very, very unique face mold. I love the Nenea face mold. I know it's not for everybody. I wasn't the biggest fan of it until I bought her, and she's just gorgeous. Her wig is amazing. Most of her collection I absolutely adore. I have a couple of outfits from it. I love her school outfit. It's very beautiful. I love her time period. She's very unique in a lot of ways, and I think she was a great addition, but as in most cases, I do say it hurts me to put her this low, but there were just 10 more dolls that I loved a little bit more. In the number 10 spot, we have 50s girl Mary Ellen Larkin, who was actually my first adult purchased American Girl in stores. The 50s is honestly my favorite time period. My favorite movie of all time is Grease. If you don't know, it's set in the 50s, so I just absolutely love it. I love poodle skirts. I literally was a 50s girl for Halloween when I was a kid. My Mary Ellen's name is Eleanor, though, but she still stays in her 50s clothing. I absolutely love her. Yes, she's kind of a basic looking doll. The one thing I don't like about her, though, is the fact that her bangs, I'm not a fan of her bangs at all, and I know a lot of people are not, but everything else, I really love her, and I love her time period. I wish her collection was I wish they offered more of it still in stores today. That's why she's only at number 10. Number 9 may shock you, and it is Caroline Abbott. This is a doll that I own and I love with every fiber of my being. She is everything I love in a doll, with the luxurious blonde hair and the beautiful blue eyes. You guys know that's my favorite combination, and I love Caroline. My problem is I wish her collection was bigger, but it's only because she was out for such a short period of time. I love all of her outfits, but they're very difficult to find, so I actually only have 2 of them, and one of them is her meat dress, so obviously, which I love it, though, because it's pink and it's beautiful, and I love Caroline. I adore her collection. I wish it was bigger, and I wish she was out for longer, but I absolutely adore everything about this doll. In the number 8 spot, we have Addie Walker, and I have included both the original Addie and her Be Forever headshot here. This is a doll I do own. I own the Be Forever Addie. I prefer her meat dress. I don't know why, because you would think I would prefer the pink one, but the blue one just looks so much better on her. Addie was one of the first American Girls I ever saw. My second cousin had Addie and Samantha, and she's kind of what introduced me to American Girl. It took me so long to get her. I literally have only had her for a year now, and I don't know why. I love her. I absolutely adore her. I think I had to put her this low just because some of her outfits I'm not really the biggest fan of, but if I was judging them on her story, I remember Addie's book series was one of the ones I loved reading. She's just a gorgeous, gorgeous doll. Obviously, she created the Addie face mold, so she definitely, is a staple piece in American Girl's collection, also being the first doll of color. She's incredible. And she's perfect, and it's her collection that put her a little bit lower on this list, but that's all right. Next, we have Rebecca Rubin, and I just have her Be Forever photo here because if you don't know, Rebecca was my last doll as a child, and then when I got back into collecting, I decided that her wig needed some work, but then it was really thin, and I just decided to customize her, which that custom is since taken apart. So Rebecca and I have an interesting history. I have the historical version growing up. I do want to add the Be Forever version to my collection this year, just because I think Be Forever, it's either hit or miss with some people. Like, some people love the Be Forever revamp, other people do not. In Rebecca's case, I think it was definitely a hit because her Be Forever collection is so much better, in my opinion, than her historical one. I absolutely adore it. I want absolutely every outfit from Rebecca's collection. I think her Be Forever bed is my favorite bed, if not one of my favorites. She just looks really cute, and I love her whole actress theme, and I need to get her back in my collection because I really miss her, and her collection is one of the ones that I absolutely gravitate towards every time I go to the store, and I just always want to buy the whole thing, but I haven't yet. So I love Rebecca, and I am very upset at myself for, missing out on her and just, not giving her the recognition she deserves. At number 6, we have the gorgeous Melody Ellison with the Sonali mold. She is a doll that I do own, and her name is Daisy in my collection, and I don't know why I don't have any pictures of her. So unfortunately, we just have her beautiful headshot. It took me a little while to get her because, if you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of dolls with longer hair. So it took me a little bit to get her. And once I got her, I was like, what the heck? She's so cute. I love putting mine. My Melody right now has these cute little pigtails in, and she's just adorable. I love her collection. I'm a big fan of the Sonali mold as well, so that probably plays a part in why I love Melody so, so much. I have not read her story. A lot of the new Be Forever girls, I am not super familiar with their stories, like the historicals from when I was a kid, because I do have all the book collections up until 2009. So Melody's collection, though, honestly, it's immaculate, and I cannot wait to see what American Girl does with it. Hopefully they will add to it in the future, because Melody is seriously a little work of art. In 5th place, we have Samantha Parkinson, and I have the historical Samantha on the screen here because if you remember back when we were talking about Addie, I told you guys how my second cousin had Samantha and Addie, and it's basically because of those dolls that I started collecting American Girl. And Samantha, she has my second favorite movie. She has Nellie, who is the first best friend doll, who I absolutely adore. And I actually have a little bit more. I have the most of Samantha and Nellie's collections from my childhood. So I'm talking like historical Samantha and obviously Nellie. And I love their outfits. Now, the Be Forever revamp, I personally like, but I know that a lot of those outfits were very pink and very girly. And if you are familiar with Samantha's story, Samantha is not like that. So I don't know why they completely went off script and disregarded Samantha's, original character, because the movie starts with her climbing a tree and then Grand Mary basically saying why is there a hole in your stockings? Because you were out running and everything. So I don't know. It's just, honestly, if they didn't change anything for her Be Forever collection or kept it more towards, Samantha, it would have been a lot better. But I love the Be Forever collection as a whole. Just, I don't like it for Samantha, if that makes sense. But Samantha is a little bit lower on she's kind of high. I don't know. She's in the middle just because of her basic appearance, but I'm not going to fault her for it either because she was one of the original 3. So, she looks pretty good for coming out when she did. Marie Grace and Cecile both come in 4th place because their collection is a shared set. There's not the main character and there's not the best friend. They're both literally the main character. So they are very high on this list because Marie Grace gave us one of my favorite face molds. Cecile was actually the first historical Sonali mold, which is amazing. And if you don't know, I just recently added a Cecile to my collection. So now I have this dynamic duo. Their collection, there's not a single outfit in it I don't like. I even really like that very strange cotton candy looking dress. I can't remember what it's called, but absolutely everything in their collection is beautiful. I wish their collection was bigger. I wish they would come back. I love everything about them. I know some people aren't the biggest fan of Marie Grace because of her name or her face mold, which I happen to adore both. And Cecile is obviously just, the name is so sophisticated and gorgeous, just like the doll. So I'm a big fan of these two. I don't know why they were out for such a short time. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And it felt really weird putting them this high, but after I analyzed everything, I was like, yes, they belong here. They absolutely do belong in 4th place. So that is Marie Grace and Cecile. Third place, we have Kaya, and Kaya is a doll that I have a fun story with. So if you know me, you know I didn't like Kaya originally. It wasn't her story or her collection or anything. It was simply just her face mold. It took me years and years until I got back into doll collecting to appreciate her, and I found her for a good deal on a Facebook group, basically brand new, and I bought her. My Kaya is the Be Forever Kaya, and I fell in love. If you have been here for a while, you know we call her the legend because she literally is a legend, and I just cannot believe that I was so dumb and did not appreciate her for so long. Her collection is amazing. I mean, there's like wolves, there's like baby wolves, and there's horses, and there's a teepee, just absolutely everything that is perfect for her storyline and the Native American history and everything. It's just in her collection. She doesn't have a ton of outfits, but the outfits that she has been given over the years have such incredible beading and details. I actually only own her meat outfit, and then I just recently bought her trading outfit, and I changed her into it, and I was like, Kaya, you are seriously beautiful, and everyone that collects American Girl needs to have a Kaya in their collection. I love modern Kayas too. They're so pretty. So I kind of want to get another Kaya so then I can have two, and one can be modern and one can be, regular, amazing Kaya. But I love her, and she's perfect. Definitely one of American Girl's absolute bests. Now, when I say that, you're probably like, well, then why isn't she number one? When you see who number one is for me, you'll understand. But anyway, that's gorgeous Kaya. In second place, we have Felicity Merriman, and she's a doll that I do own as well. Unfortunately, the only picture I could find I have of her is one when she was in her old wig that was splitting at the top because I was obsessed with her as a kid and I brushed her hair too much. But anyway, Felicity has the most beautiful eyes. She has gorgeous hair. Her movie is my favorite American Girl movie ever. I could quote that thing. She gave us Elizabeth, who, if you are familiar with my collection, you know Elizabeth was my favorite doll in my original childhood, 11. So Felicity gave us Elizabeth. I love the time period. I love colonial things. I love their fashions. If this was solely based on their, clothes in their collection, Felicity would be number one. But it's not, so that's why she's number two. I love her name. I think it's very beautiful and unique. She's just a very strong character, and I love her story. Just everything about Felicity is 10 out of 10. My favorite historical is the original blue-eyed, blonde-haired classic mold, Kirsten Larson. This was when I was little. She was my second doll, and she was my first doll with long hair, and she was just the greatest thing I had ever owned as a little 4-year-old girl. She had such an awesome story. I would read it over and over again, and there were cats involved, so obviously, I was sold immediately. Everything about Kirsten is my favorite. I love her collection. It's so simple, but so well done. Her bed was actually the only bed, the only actual American Girl bed I owned. And I had her quilt, and I had her doll Sorry, and everything about it is beautiful. So when I got back into collecting dolls, my Kirsten was pretty beat up. Not beat up in a bad sense, but just beat up in the fact that she was played with all the time. So I said I would really love to get a revamped Kirsten, but that wasn't going to happen because of how expensive good condition ones go for. I did not know the 35th anniversary dolls were coming out, but when they did, I did not hesitate. I bought myself a 35th anniversary Kirsten, and I love her to death. Now, another thing why Kirsten is so special to me is because she is actually the doll that reminded me of American Girl. If you have heard me tell this story 100 times, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell it again, but I was at work on December 23rd, 2019, and I just randomly, Kirsten Larson popped in my head, and I was like, oh, American Girl. So then I went and I just looked at the American Girl website when I got home, and I found out Kirsten was retired. Basically, everybody I had collected as a child was retired, and I was like, oh my God. And then the next day, Christmas Eve, I just ordered Blair Wilson impulsively, and the rest is history. So Kirsten is a huge part of my collection, and she's just amazing. She's the only double I have. I have 2 Kirstens. If you heard that, my cats are playing, and I never cut any crazy things they do out because I know you guys just love to hear me talk to them. So, excuse me, ladies, what is happening? I'm trying to, film here. All right, so anyway, that's enough rambling about Kirsten and my cats. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which historical is your favorite. Did they make the list? If they didn't make the list, that's totally okay. I absolutely love them all. This was so difficult to make. But yes, let me know who your favorite is down below. Next up, we will be doing the best friends, and I'm really excited to do that because there's not as many of them, so it's not going to be as difficult, I don't think. But anyway, if you have not already, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to join the fam, leave a positive comment down below, and tap that really cool notification bell so you can know the exact moment I post a new video. Have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye, everybody.